Hey y'all, I keep getting questions about what we did to make our raised beds, so I thought I would just kind of take you through the process real quick. Okay. So this raised bed is a kind of like a U shape. So it goes this way and then down this way and a U being curled on. Down here, this is about 3 feet across, and then from here all the way up here is 12 feet, and then from here to there I think is 8 feet. So I've got a little 3-foot bed, a 3-foot bed, and then a little 2-foot bed in the middle. So there's a board that my husband put up as kind of like scaffolding. So, or I guess not scaffolding. Anyway, the idea was we were gonna enclose it if we needed to, because we get birds and squirrels and everything else, but we haven't needed to. So it has a door and everything else is open. And then as I need to, I cover with cloth, or I cover with netting, or last year we put up that roll right there of wire and we ran it all across here, and then I trellised cucumbers over it. So here we have peas growing. Down here I have carrots. Up here there's some dill, and then all in here, these are just sprouted, that's a weed. These are just sprouted cucumbers. And then in the back there, I've got some more cucumbers, and then cilantro, and then all of that is strawberries. So this year we've added 3 beds. And I don't know if you can hear our neighborhood pool, but it is popping. So we've added 3 new beds. So these, there's 2. There's one here and there's one here. And these are 4 feet by 6 feet. And then I have a little, maybe 2-foot walkway between them. And so my husband has run drip line up through here. And we don't solely rely on the drip. I do hand water a lot of things. So the drip line underneath those weeds comes up here, and he's got it buried because it comes all the way from the front of the yard, so we buried it. This is a 1/2 inch tube, and it's from, what does that say? MrLandscape.com, maybe? Made in USA. And it's not really bendy. It's not very pliable. And then he's added a elbow on there and then a T-joint here. And so the T-joint allows us to run it back through there, because there's another bed that we put in further down. You see it, it's empty. There's another bed that we put in. And then this right here allows us to run it down through here. And then he's come off with some 1/4 inch tubing, and then he kind of dug down a little hole right here so that this doesn't sit on it, and then it pops up here, and then it just kind of runs through. And we'll add some pieces off of this, is kind of the idea, to water everybody. Right now I've just been hand watering this bed. And then this bed has got the Mr. Landscape that comes all the way back here. We did not have the forethought to run it underneath, so this comes over, and then it just kind of runs all the way down, all the way through here, and then all the way back around. And when I'm done planting in here, I'll cover it with hay, and you won't be able to see the drip line anymore. This does a pretty good job of getting everything covered. but my husband kind of wants more control, which is why with these, and you can see this one comes up over here in the corner. With these, we're gonna have a kind of a central line, and then he's going to run other lines off of that to the plants. That way we can have more control over how much water they're receiving. So this bed was our first bed at this house. We did lasagna layering. We put in a layer of cardboard, then we did big sticks, little sticks, leaves, and then we topped it with Mel's Mix. And we've always come, you see my little paper wasp? We've always come up to about that board right there and not buried the top board. I think next year I'm gonna bury it all the way to the top. I also am gonna move the strawberries. The things that I like about this bed is the Mel's Mix plus all of the decomposition that is taking place underground is really nutrient dense. And so plants seem to thrive in this environment. What I don't like is in the strawberry part, I'm getting some dead man's toes mushrooms, dead man's fingers, I don't know what it's called, mushrooms, and that concerns me because they can cause root rot, and I don't want that to harm my plants. It hasn't really harmed the strawberries so far, but I'm going to add more Mel's Mix. I'm making sure I'm not going to step on a paper wasp. So over here, I did not fill it because of the strawberries. So you can see over here on this side, it's filled higher than over there. And that's about how much we lost in a year or so. And then I need to finish filling that one up a bit. Then the idea is we are going to cut the landscape fabric out. It doesn't actually go under the bed. We already cut that out. It's only here. It's just to kind of keep it weed free until we get to this area. Pull it up and then put down mulch. So, and same thing here. And so we've already done it up by the blueberries. So we don't want to garden on top of landscape fabric, but we also don't want all of the grass and the leaves and everything. So it's just kind of how we kill it. In these beds, there's just Mel's Mix. There's no lasagna layering. We did tomatoes in this bed and then some basil. And then my tomatoes, I have like a bamboo teepee thing. You can kind of see that it's connected at the top. Get garden twine and tie it up as it grows. And then with peppers, I use tomato cages. And again, as they grow, I will get garden twine and tie them up. The wood for these beds, wood is really expensive right now. We had another project and they had to scaffold the concrete. And so they scaffold the concrete with board. We kept the boards, and my husband just either backed out or cut off the screws that they used. And you can kind of see them here. There's some. And then there's some of those as well. And then he made these beds with them. So, and you can see these are not treated boards, so they will deteriorate. We get paper moths on this one all the time, just kind of stripping the wood. You can see all the little things that they do to it. But the way that we kind of, and I'm not going to get close to this guy, but since he's right here, you see him, he's eating the wood to make his home. We'll just replace the boards as needed. So as they start to really deteriorate, oh, sorry, dude. As they start to really deteriorate, we'll just come out here and replace a board. That's it. That's kind of our setup. Right now we've got the U-shaped bed, and then we've got the new bed back there. I think I'm gonna put beans in that bed and maybe some pumpkins. There's space. There's a lot of space between that bed and the house. So the pumpkins can kind of grow here, but then fall over into that space if they want. Or I was thinking of doing a big trellis and having the pumpkins grow up over the trellis. We'll see. And then we've got these 2 beds here. And that's our setup. And we will continue to make it pretty because right now it's efficient, but it's not very pretty. Okay, well, I just thought I would give you guys a little show and show you what we did to make our raised beds. And again, this is just our 2nd bed ever. I think the first time we made raised beds, we used compost and topsoil. But I really like the Mel's Mix. I think it's really works well in our raised bed and helps with drainage and all of those things. I don't have any kind of compact soil, so it's really easy to work with, which is nice. And the plants seem to like it. Okay, well, thanks for listening and watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Okay, thanks. Bye.